Get back on your cords, please, guys. The session is we're going to go 4 minutes of front crawl, 1 minute single arm left, 1 minute single arm right. 3 minutes of light front crawl, 1 minute single arm left, 1 minute single arm right, and so on. That's going to take us about 15 minutes. We've got 2 rounds. I think we're good. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, we're still a little bit, still waking up maybe, so keep it nice and light. Later on, maybe we can play with taking a step back. But for now, just run the technical points through we've been working on for quite some time. Pulling with the forearm, keeping the head nice and still, switching the shoulder from side to side, finishing the stroke nice and streamlined, trying to get almost onto your side. Don't overdo it and nudge things. That's why it's so important to learn to be able to keep the head nice and still. Head still means you stop over rotating. That's me there. I'm finished. And I should be switching through to the other side. That does not give you any more, well, it gives you a little bit more distance, but the offset is more surface area exposed. You're starting your pull from over on the far side. You're going to sweep through, realign before you then start to go forwards again. So not helpful. Finish with that arm forward, straight, stretched in front. Close down the surface area. There's the head position. And you switch from side to side to side. That's as much. It's not fully onto your side. It's not fully onto your side. That is too much. Okay? 1 minute 30 going through. 1 minute 30, 2.5 to go. And what I like to do with this drill, if you are familiar with our fitness sessions, we make it harder with paddles, easier with paddles, because the extra surface area enables that single arm to anchor a little more effectively as you make the hand a bit bigger. We then try with no toys, and then you've obviously got to rely on the hand shape. You've got the spacing of the fingers. You've got the idea that the fingertips to the elbow will make one unit. And you're going to try to pull with all of that to make that single arm drill work. And then we make it very difficult. So 3 stages to the drill. We make it very difficult by clenching the fist, So then you've got nothing from the hand. All you've got is the forearm. And then to make that connection, we've got to work the legs a little bit more. So I've got 2 different weights, 2 different dumbbells to help. 2.5 minutes gone, 90 seconds to go before we get going. I've got a couple of different sets of dumbbells, which I'd like to use for the drills, because it gives you that sense of a little bit of weightiness, is that a word, around the hand, almost as if you were in the water and you've got some sort of hold on the water. So I'm going to do the drill nice and slow with my heaviest weight. Then in the middle round, I'm going to switch to my lower weight, the lighter weight. And then my 3rd round, I'll just go back to using, we could clench our fists, might be of use. Won't really do much for here, but if it just gets the brain thinking it through, processing it through, a little bit more analysis, a little bit more detail, can't be a bad thing. Okay, so in about 35 seconds, I'm going to pick up my heavier dumbbell. Okay, we've got 1 minute on the left arm, 1 minute on the right arm. Do it nice and slow, work on the accuracy, and then the benefits we gain from the drill, we will then try to have them flow into the next block of full stroke. Last 15 seconds. Keep the head still, keep rotating. If we're all in an upright position, fantastic. Don't forget to incorporate the hips switching from side to side to give you that length. 3, 2, 1, lovely. Okay. Single arm. Doesn't matter which arm you start with, as long as we switch. Okay. Catch, rotate, recover. Keep the head still. Once the arm stops moving back out in front, that is when I would recommend you took the breath if we were in the water. Obviously on dry land, we're not so fast, but it obviously is a useful reminder that we've rotated and finished the drill correctly. If I get to halfway and stop here, get a bit lazy and that shoulder stays submerged, I'm going to struggle to get the breath in, which is why this drill is actually one of the few we like to do without a snorkel. Okay, if I've got a snorkel on, I can kind of whiz through there and I wouldn't really know what was happening to the body position. So finish the shoulder up, get the breath in before we go again. Try to visualize a little bit. Imagine you've got the kick going. Let's swap arms. The kick is helping the hip switch and riding out that little bit of an awkward phase where you're recovering, you're on your side, you're trying to switch through. The legs would be helping me drive from side to side and finish the drill. Head still until the arm stops, get the breath to the side. Shoulder starts high, pulls through under, finishes high. Catch, set the catch position, use the forearm, drive the shoulder through. Last 20 seconds. Catch, drive the shoulder through, use the kick to help bring the shoulder back up above. Think it through, think it through. Last 10 seconds, give me 3 or 4 more. Wonderful stuff. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, good, good. Back on the cords, please, back on the cords. If you're warm, if you're feeling good, take a step back. Drop down a step if you're in a stairwell. Move away from the wall. You're pulling down. We've got 3 minutes, everyone. We've got 3 minutes. We can pick up the pace a little bit. Excuse me. Yeah, excuse me. Sorry about that. Pick up the pace a little bit, but don't lose all the benefits that the drill brought. Don't start pushing down with a straight arm, having spent that last 2 minutes working on your catch. Keep the hips involved, having worked on your ab rotation. Start the stroke long from here, finish through, drive it back out in front. Good work. Last 2 minutes, last 2 minutes. Let's add in a little bit of breathing. Watch the hand travel under the body, and that's when we should be turning in. Get a nice amount of clearance, get lots of air as the hand travels past the hip, and then the head should be turning back into neutral so that the arm does not get dragged into the head swinging through, possibly upsetting things. The amount that you breathe, the side you breathe is very individual and up to you. If you only ever breathe to one side, there are potential issues. We might start to get a bit lazy and lean on that arm when we're tired, helping prop ourselves up. It's more likely some bad habits will creep in. Mixing up the breathing pattern, switching from side to side, and it could be 2 to the left, 3 to the left, and then we switch and pick up on the other side. It just starts to bring a little bit more symmetry to the stroke. More likely you will pivot and pull with the forearm rather than lean on that straight arm having pivoted out of the shoulder. Elbow pops out wide, hand stays central. And a good skill, you really, and if this helps on dry land, what we should be aiming for is the same angles at the elbows, the same speed of the hand, the same alignment under the body, regardless of whether you're breathing or not. That's ultimately what we should all be aiming for. And that gets a little bit trickier as we get tired, but the more we practice, the more we repeat, the more we can hold it together as we start to tire. Good work, everyone. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, good job. Pick up the smaller dumbbells if you've got them. If you don't have any, don't worry. And just trying to keep the stroke one step closer to being in the water if possible. Minute with one arm, minute with the other. Set your catch, pull the shoulder through. Recover. Set the catch, hold onto the water, use the legs, use the hips, drive that through, recover, stretch it back out. 30 seconds to go. If we want to practice some breathing, turn to the side, You'll know you finished the drill nicely when that shoulder's out of the way and breathing is unhindered. If you get stuck here or finish the drill early, your breathing's going to get stuck. Get the shoulder back up above the surface. And this is why on our training camps, we actually film the drills as well, because most people can get the front crawl looking quite nice during the course of a week and then need some convincing. 3, 2, 1, swap arms for me, please, everyone. Yeah, so most people's stroke count comes down on a training camp. Most people's stroke improves. Obviously we get tired, but we're offset by better technique. And then often it's hard to convince people to continue with their improvements. But then if we film the drills and see, all the technical points that have yet to be mastered, hopefully that convinces people to continue for that little bit longer with their drills. Last 30 seconds. Then we're down to just 2 minutes. 2 minutes. If we can pick up the tempo a little bit and yet still retain all of these technical points, we've got 2 minutes. And then we've got our last set of single arms, which we will do without any weights. And that way, you've got to slow it down even more, concentrate a fraction more, because then you don't have anything held. Like with a little bit of weight in the hand, gravity's sort of telling me just to let it fall through, but I'm still trying to control it and get it to work nicely. Back on the cords, here we go. 2 minutes, please, 2 minutes. Can we take another step back? A little bit more tension. Keep the head still. Add in some breathing if you wish. I'm going 3 to the left. It's one of my preferred patterns. 3 to the right. 3 to the left, having switched across. Just trying to prevent any bad habits from creeping in, getting a firm foothold, just mixing it up so that the stroke is really robust. The movements, the angles, it's all holding up nicely so that when I do have to switch to single-sided breathing in an open water event because the sun is coming at me from one side or I've got someone swimming close to me on the hip and it's just a bit clumsy, I will still make all of these correct technical movements even though I'm only breathing to one side. I've done enough training where I've mixed it up so that single-sided is not going to suffer, is not going to introduce any bad habits. Last 30 seconds, keep it there. Finish strong at the back. Brush past the hips, don't finish at the hips, try to go past. Wiggle the hips, set the catch, pull with the forearm. Keep the back end nice and streamlined, and you can't really go wrong. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Okay, single arm with no toys, okay? Just try it with the fist clenched. This is the hard version we do. Remember, we would have fins on just to help control this. It's a very difficult drill to do unless you are a gifted kicker. Very tough to do without fins. So, fist clench, slow it down, look for the accuracy. Recover, recover, driving the shoulder back up above the surface. And that's why you can see that position. That's why we do this drill, okay? If I was doing the traditional single arm, I would stop here, I'd be at my widest, I'd be submerged, okay? So that's why we stopped doing this drill the old-fashioned way with the unused arm out in front. You can see how this more closely mimics the full stroke. This drill is just that one step closer. Shoulder high, shoulder pulls through, body switching from side to side. Last 3, 2, 1, and back up. Now, my top tip, I would push off the wall when you do get back into some water, I would push off the wall in this Superman position. When people push off in this position, in the normal streamline position, okay, they have a tendency to then just pull with the single arm and continue in that position. Push off in Superman, and then we might just have a better chance of retaining that single arm being done properly. Good, last 30 seconds, last 30 seconds. So try this with a snorkel, but just be careful of what the shoulder's doing, because the snorkel can leave you flat and you'll still get air because you're not finding it to the side. Get the basics under control, but definitely try this without your snorkel, just so you know that the body position is doing the right thing. 3, 2, 1, fantastic. Good stuff, everyone, good stuff. Shake the arms out, have a little drink, get the breathing under control. That was very nice. We've got one more round of that. We've got one more round. That's going to take us up to our 30-minute main set. Okay, our 30-minute main set. Hope you all enjoyed the weekend. I didn't actually get into our lake, so I can't tell you how good it was, but I'm hoping to get in this week. Tracy, it'll be good to see you there tomorrow. Wetsuit, you don't have to worry. It was 20 degrees, so a lot of people went in without. So that's something to look forward to. Okay, are we ready? Shaking them out, had a drink. 3, 2, 1, 4 minutes back on the long cords, 4 minutes. Can we go a step back? Can we go a step back? So remember, if you are hitting open water, at the risk of sounding like every other person on Twitter and Facebook, here's my top tips. Well, if you've been doing these stretch cords, you're at a massive advantage compared to everyone else. Your shoulders will have built up a little strength, you'll have kept your fitness, your swimming muscle specific memory will, the arms will know what to do, you're going to be absolutely fine. Some of our coaches were moaning how much their shoulders felt, and then I just obviously berated them for not doing stretch cords with me. I was very sympathetic. Good stuff. Coming up on the 1 minute, coming up on the 1 minute. But yeah, just be sensible. Don't do, don't do a huge amount unnecessary. We've missed, what has it been, 10, 11, 12 weeks? Start steady, just do a small amount. Enjoy the buoyancy of the wetsuit. Pull it into position. We've got a wetsuit fitting guide uploaded in this area, YouTube, Swim to Try, just to help you make it feel a bit more comfortable. It may not have shrunk. It might just be a little bit tight going on. But with the tips in the wetsuit fitting guide, should help alleviate some of the worries. Use the buoyancy of the wetsuit. Don't fight against it. We often see people suddenly feel a little bit higher in the water, a little bit stronger, and then sort of thrash at it thinking, gosh, here we go, don't I feel good? But let it help you. Don't work against it. Just keep it long, smooth. Don't kick too hard, but keep the kick small. Keep it hidden. Keep your streamline. Remember to line up those forearm panels. A lot of them now have designs on the forearm so that when you turn this over, there's ripples, there's dimples, there's all sorts of differences to the material to help disturb the water, hold the forearm a little more effective so you travel over and carry on. If they are wedged halfway around the arm, they're just going to slip through and do nothing. So check on that. Get someone to check the neck. You don't want those horrible welts that can come up from rubbing on the neck and you've not had a chance to, we hire a Lido for the exact reason that I'd like people to swim in their wetsuits all year so that when it does come to this rather unusual time, normally it's April, May, but people's wetsuits have been used and they're in good shape. Check the neck, make sure that Velcro flap, if you've got the aggressive flap on top, make sure that lays down and does not come into the neck. Try to make sure that it's completely kept away from the skin. You know what I mean? There's obviously two sides to Velcro, the rough and the smooth. A lot of wetsuit manufacturers leave the flat with the rough side. I don't know why more of them can't make the rough side on the main body of the wetsuit. And then the soft bit, if it did accidentally overlap, it wouldn't rip your neck to pieces. But give your goggles a rinse tonight. A little bit of baby shampoo or a little bit of washing up liquid, whatever you've got. Just breathe a little bit of life into them. They're going to be feeling a bit sorry for themselves, and that should help. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. There's our 4 done. Okay, I'm going back to my heavier dumbbell just to slow things down, work on the accuracy. Minute on each side, please. Recover, keep the head still, set the catch, pull through, shoulder comes down towards the chin, but it does not budge the head, it does not bump the chin. You meet the chin, and then it releases, okay? Coming up on halfway, well done. Catch, pull through, visualize the legs helping, the hips are involved, stretch back out, and set the catch again. Drive the shoulder back up above the surface. 20 seconds to go. So this is a great way. You can almost watch. If you have a little sneak look, you can watch the hip moving out of the way. You can see the hip from here as I'm stretched through, and then it moves out of the way so I can stay central, keep pushing through. The hips out of the way so that hand will exit a lot longer. Swap sides, please. Swap sides. Catch, pull through, recover. Keep the head still. Breathe to the side when everything stops. The hand stays in the pocket at all times, does not move. Breathe to the side, come back. As soon as the arm stops moving, then I've got that window. I can get 1 breath. I can take 2. There's no right or wrong with that. Get your composure, and as you're ready, set the catch again. Okay, try not to make this become a little bit too much of a momentum focused thing, and it just gets a bit sloppy, and we just kind of, the head's turning as a rolling mechanism. Try to finish and make everything deliberate and separate. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back on the course. Nicely done, everyone. We've got 3 minutes. We've got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Think about all the technical pointers of that drill coming through into your full stroke now. Keeping the head still, head still. Finish the stroke. Finish the stroke in, but don't nudge the head. Bring the shoulder through to the chin. Keep the hands pulling down the center line. If you can, if you've not got paddles, but you've got these sort of grips, try to maybe hold it with your thumb, give the fingers a little bit of space, just so we're that 1 step closer to how we would be pulling in the water. That's good, everyone, that's good. Come forward a step. If you feel the technique struggling a little bit, come forwards, take the pressure off. If you're starting to sort of struggle to get to the hips, come forwards a fraction. We're not trying to kill the triceps here. This is very much the drill focus session of the week, and we'd like things to be technical. So if you're at our lake tomorrow, Tuesday, lots of lifeguards, lots of support crew. Paul, our paramedic, was there. There was absolutely no stress, everything to relax. Nice, warm, sunny day. Everyone's fears were, everyone did more than they thought. It's been 10 weeks, but just start sensibly. Don't rush into it. Don't rush into it. You're getting your timing. That will take a little bit of time. Get the breathing under control. Find the rhythm. Those are the things to focus on. And everyone just was grateful and really appreciative of having a chance to come and swim. And that was so lovely to hear and see after so long with no swimming whatsoever. Good work, everyone. 35 seconds. 35 seconds before we hit our middle weight. I'm going to pick up my middle weight. And just be accurate with that. Hope there's nothing I dropped or hit. Something might just fallen down the stairs. Three, two, one. Fantastic. Good work, guys. Good work. Nearly there. We're nearly there. Single arm with our medium, well, it's our lighter weight, but it's sort of my medium single arm drill. The one in the middle. Okay, visualize the kick. Visualize the hips getting involved. Smooth it out. It is a complex drill. Not many drills work the catch, work the hips, work the legs, and it all needs to flow together. Most drills will isolate up one little area and have you focus. But this one needs, I mean, basically think about it. It is front crawl with just one arm taken out of the equation. So hence you need a lot of concentration because you've got the timing, the rhythm, the head turning, the breathing. You've got the coordination of the arm. It's all there. All you're doing is just leaving one arm in your pocket. 3, 2, 1. Let's swap over. Catch, pull with the forearm, finish past the hips. Use the legs to drive the hips to stretch back out in front. Use the legs and the hips to help create your internal rotation. The alternative being external rotation where we push down to help us breathe, okay? If we can sort of in the water, this drill, as simple as it might seem, the torpedo drill, learning to create your rotation from inside, just from the legs and the hips, that will mean you can forever swim with your catch, and when you breathe, you won't need, because that shoulder knows to shift out of the way from working the drill, you will then be able to set the catch even though you're turning to breathe rather than pushing down to assist. The difference between internal and external rotation. Nearly there, nearly there. I've probably swapped arms, haven't I? Not realized, never mind. 3, 2, 1. You knew what was going on. Last 2 minutes on the long chords. Take a step back if we can. 2 minutes, we're nearly there, we're nearly there. Nicely done, everyone. Bring all of those teaching points from the drill into the full stroke now. Think about staying narrow. Think about hiding from the water. Don't make it harder by losing your rotation, shortening your stroke, opening all of this surface area. That's not going to help. You've got to be narrow. You've got to keep fighting through it. Better that you don't fight. That's not a great choice of words, but hide your way through it. Keep small. Remember surface area and drag. There's a relationship. The narrower, the smaller you can be, the more I can swim in this little channel, whether I'm pulling or recovering. And again, straight arm is fine. What we don't want to be is low and wide, sweeping out to here. So a leg needs to counterbalance that. We don't want to pull out wide. We don't want to pull across. Send the water backwards. And then recover, narrow. Recover, narrow. And it should all work. You won't need to stick a leg out or stabilize the breathing with things breaking out of this narrow channel. Last 30 seconds. 25, nearly there. 20. Keep reaching for the knees, don't exit early. Don't be shy, let the triceps do their bit. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Wonderful stuff, wonderful stuff. Okay, that's all for the long chords. Let's go with our drill. I'm using no weights this time, so I'm going to really concentrate. Even though the arms are feeling a bit funny, I've got to really concentrate now to make these movements accurate and get the drill done particularly well. Last 30 seconds. Set the catch. Pull the shoulder through towards the chin. Recover. Stretch back out. Got a little bit of daylight between the fingers. I've not got my paddles on to help now, so I want that hand shape to help. Okay, so it's not here, it's not there. That's going to slip. That's going to slip, okay, but that should hold a little bit more water, make that a little bit firmer, and enable me to drive that shoulder through. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Good stuff. Other arm, please. Other arm. Here we go. Work on the accuracy. We often struggle with our less dominant arm. Often it's not a question of strength. It is about the dexterity, the ability to get the movements accurate. Swimming, you do not need to be particularly strong because we're not actually, you know, lifting weights. We're not pulling ourselves up. We're trying to hold water. It's not solid. And obviously it will remind you of that as you're slipping through tomorrow on a clumsy swim and teasing you that it's the master. But we're going to do our best to hold it and anchor ourselves and pull through. And that does not come from that or from that. Try a couple of millimeters between the fingers. Stretch back out. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Wonderful stuff. Well done. Shake the body out. Just give the triceps a little bit of a shake. Keep the head still. Let the hips follow. Essential if you're on a horizontal set of chords, remind ourselves what swimming is about. That's why we've built the chords in that vertical position. If you've got space, if you've got room, draw the sword. Let's try a couple of those. Hey, the family's just come back. Hello. Was the part good? Yeah? Don't be shy, you can say something. Let's go 5 on each arm. There you go, there we go. Nicely done, everyone. Good stuff, well done. If you've got the Dryland booklet, maybe have time for a few more stretches, get the triceps up and running ahead of any swimming you might be doing this week.